Hello? Test, test, test. Hey, so anyone that's on the live right now, just hit refresh. Yo, all right. So, what's up, everybody? So, it looks like I was Tommy's not gonna be able to make it on the call. So today was just going to be Amazon dropshipping. We are either going to have that live later this evening or most likely tomorrow, or we're gonna record a training and we'll upload it for you guys. It's just unable to happen this morning. So unfortunately, that's the case. So I'm happy to do a solid like business Q&A on like whatever you guys want to talk about, since I know a lot of you guys put this into your schedule, you woke up early, whatever. So any questions you guys have, I'm happy to break them down, go over it. So just throw that in the chat. We'll still have a good little jam session here this morning, but Tommy will not be on to talk about Amazon dropshipping this morning. So yeah. So anyway, hope you guys are having a great weekend. Hope you guys are stoked for the in-person event or meetup that's coming up in about 3 weeks. It's going to be September 15th. Location, Los Angeles somewhere. We haven't picked the exact spot just yet. So that's going to be pretty awesome. And then Sunday we're going to do a paintball event with you guys. So you guys will come out, you guys get to paintball with us. It's going to be pretty cool. You guys can, try to shoot us. We'll try to shoot you guys. But yeah, so that's what's going on. I hope you guys can hear me. So, all right. So what's up? What's going on in the world today for you guys? Like, what do you guys need help with? Like, I'm gonna take like half hour, 45 minutes, and do a Q&A. I know we did credit last week. I went over a ton of stuff on credit and loans and all of that. So if you guys have some follow-up questions. Okay, Amazon dropshipping versus Shopify dropshipping. All right, so Amazon dropshipping, you're kind of in a gray area there. So Amazon doesn't really like when people drop ship on their platform, but there's a lot of money to be made there. So, that's one thing. Number two is Amazon can tend to have, especially when you're new, pretty long holds on your money, but any new merchant processor generally does. So you have that, but Amazon dropshipping is pretty automated. Shopify dropshipping, it depends on how you do it, is how I look at it. If you're just doing the general AliExpress like business model, I don't think Shopify is the greatest thing ever. But if you're testing a few products, like for instance, a lot of people don't do this, and I don't know why. Like, if you're gonna have a very like niche specific store on Shopify with like AliExpress, and you're only gonna sell a few products, I would order those products first so you can see the quality of the products. Make sure you're using people with like really good reviews, because if you don't, if you have thousands of items, that's different. Like, you're just gonna have a big general store. Like, it is what it is. You're not gonna order all this. It costs too much. But if you only have a couple items, I would order them myself to see how they show up and do like a quality control check before I sent them out, All right. And then once you found like a really, really good, product that's selling a lot and all of that, it would be my goal to start ordering that in bulk and get it stateside, get a small warehouse or have a fulfillment center, do the shipping and stuff. And that way, you can get it to your customers faster. Remember, people like speed. So when you have the AliExpress coming from China 2 to 3 week with the e-packet, people don't like that. People are used to now. Elizabeth, what are your businesses? All right, so I kind of got started in business consulting a while back. So I was top sales guy for a gym. I used to be heavily involved in the gym world, health clubs, and so I opened clubs around the world. I've opened Gold's Gyms, I've opened other clubs, and basically come in, set up all their infrastructure, help them with their pre-sale, make sure they're going smooth, hire their staff, fire their staff, whatever they needed. Sometimes come in and just help gyms as far as needing to, change things up, look through their books and say, hey, whoa, this isn't working. So I did that for a while. So I do a lot of like business consulting from that, because it all kind of transitions. Numbers are numbers no matter what business you're in. So do a lot of business consulting, do a lot of real estate, and then of course eBay drop shipping, and other e-commerce stuff, Amazon FBA, things like that. So that's kind of there. And then of course I spend a lot of time, with you guys and inside of other courses and stuff. So whole mix of things. Drop shipping, Shopify, drop shipping, trending products, finding products, Shopify. Nick, I love your credit videos. Are they applicable to UK credit? Harry, I don't know, because I've never looked up how these credit hacks and tips and all of that apply in other countries. I have it mastered pretty much inside of the United States, but I'm unaware how it would apply over. If you know some information, I'd like to know, and I may spend some time researching it, but generally when I get into a topic, I kind of get obsessive until I figure it out to the fullest. So I just really haven't decided to dive into the other countries. Maybe I will look a little bit based off of the bigger countries that a lot of you guys are from, just so I know. But I do have a lot of real estate investor friends that live in other countries, and they set up businesses inside the United States to start establishing credit for their businesses in the US. So they actually, a lot of them have US credit. How to create an awesome product description. You got to think go to first you can go to some of the top sites and kind of model yours off of that. I don't know if you guys know who Russell Brunson is, but he's a guy that made ClickFunnels, and one of his biggest things is he's don't try to reinvent the wheel. If you want to sell microphones, I got a Yeti microphone right in front of me. If you want to go sell microphones, then you want to go to Yeti's website and not copy them, but model after them. And because they're already doing a good job, and take advantage of all the, the tons of money they put into the research and use that to your advantage. Thought the live was at 8 p.m. No, it's been at 8 a.m. We might have to reschedule it to 8 p.m. We're trying to see if we can get Tommy. I can't remember when his flight is. I know he's going back to Florida because he's not from California sometime in the near future. Is product research the same for Amazon FBA and Amazon dropshipping? I would say yes and no, because Amazon, I would say as far as figuring out what items work, yeah, but Amazon dropshipping, you're going to be grabbing all these different products, so the margins you're looking for and suppliers and stuff is going to be different. Where Amazon FBA, you're about to drop a lot of your money up front, so you're going to want to research that probably a little bit more. How do you find profitable items for Amazon dropshipping? I'm going to have, as far as the Amazon dropshipping part, because I know how to do it, but I wouldn't call myself a pro at the Amazon dropshipping part per se. I mean, I have it set up, but it's not something I look at. It's very, very automated. I don't spend a lot of time on it. So I rather have someone that's very active in it show you guys, because I'll probably miss a few steps because I haven't done them for a while. I mean, I make money from it, but it's it's an out of sight, out of mind thing. I just pay the bills. What is the meetup event going to be like other than the paintball event on Sunday? So on Saturday, the 15th, that will be the meetup. Obviously I have a nice little meeting space. We're going to have some guest speakers come in as well, some big people that you guys probably follow, and go over, different business models. We're laying out the schedule right now. The dates were picked just 2 days ago, so we're putting it together a schedule of events. All right, what's the minimum you can start with ecom? Honestly, a couple $100. The reason you need a couple $100 is you need to be able to get past the holds of your payment processor. So for instance, even eBay, I would say that's the most conservative e-commerce method. PayPal is going to hold your funds for a little bit. So I got a whole YouTube video on nurturing your payment processor because you want to have a good relationship. I spend about an hour on the phone every quarter with PayPal going over my business model. If anything if there was any issues last like 3 to 6 months into the next month. So yeah, that's just a constant thing. Hey man, I'll have to let you know. Will you guys record the event? Can't make it. For the event, I'm not sure. I'm sure some of it will at least be recorded, but this will not be the last event. So I would definitely do what you can to get out there, and we plan to do more. So one of our things is trying to do one in like every major city. So like the first one be LA, because obviously we live out here in California, and then do like, you know, Dallas or Houston or Chicago, Miami, New York, like hit all the big major spots. That way, depending on where you guys live, it's not as big of a drive for you guys. When should I dropping live copy? Can't wait to kickstart and get the ball rolling. We're gonna have someone on Shopify coming here pretty soon. What's easier or better, Shopify, drop shipping? I would say Amazon. Ted, you got to remember, Amazon and eBay, they have millions and millions of users coming to their websites every day. If you go build a Shopify store, nobody knows that website exists. So unless you have an ad that goes out and kills it, no one even knows that it exists. So no one's going to convert, no one's going to buy your stuff. So that's why I like leveraging some of the biggest companies in the world, because I don't have to go create the traffic. They already did that for me. Would be insane if you guys could schedule the calls around this. Victor, we are putting a schedule together. There still may be live calls that are random during the week and at night and things like that, but we are going to set at least two days a month that are set times where you guys can count on those times in those days. So we are working on that. We were just, there's a lot of you in here that we got a lot of different schedules and stuff. So we're trying to make it so it works for everybody. So, but yeah, you guys can expect at least 2 of the lives being hard scheduled every month coming soon. And then, of course, there may still be some random, Instagram or random Facebook live or YouTube lives like in here. But those, if you can get on, great. If you can't, you can watch the recording. But there will be twice a month that will be set in stone. Also, one thing that I want to start doing with you guys is those of you that do have existing businesses that you want to take to another level, I'm going to kind of set up a form and then a follow-up consultation call. And what we're going to do is you have to have an existing business, like an existing business that, I'll come up with the parameters for it very soon. But you're basically going to submit your business. We're going to personally talk about your business, and then we're going to break it down as to where your holes are, what you can do to make it better, and that will help you and that will help the other people. And of course, if certain things need to be hidden, they will be. So don't worry about that. All right. Thought on high ticket affiliate marketing? Go for it. If you can find a good product, connect with an audience, no reason not to. What's wholesale real estate? Wholesale real estate is flipping contracts. It's assignments. So basically, let's say I don't personally do this model of real estate. I just buy properties, keep the cash flow, and make more money. That's my business model with real estate, and I don't talk about it because most people don't have the money to do it anyway. All right. So, but wholesale real estate is basically, let's go say I find this killer deal on this house. And generally, these are off-market deals, right? So, because obviously, if they've hit the MLS, the place where the real estate agents put all the houses, then it's going to be like a market price deal generally. So, it might be a little discounted if someone's trying to sell it quick. But basically, you're mailing people. You're putting those signs in people's yards or up on the telephone poles. I'm sure if you live in any major city, up on telephone poles, you see like signs everywhere. We buy houses cash, blah, blah, blah. That's most likely a wholesale person trying to generate leads. So what's going to happen is so-and-so is going to drive by, they just inherited this house because their mom died. They don't really want it. It needs a lot of work, whatever. They see that sign. They're like, dang, I'd rather just get some cash today. They're going to call. The company is going to put a contract on that house for an extremely discounted price, like 50-65% off of what its actual retail value is. And then they're going to take that contract that, let's say it's a $100,000 house, you got it for $50,000. They're going to go turn around and sell it to an investor that wants to fix it up and maybe rent it out, or fix it up and then sell it for that $100,000. They're going to go sell it to him for $70,000. So you're going to make $20,000 profit by getting that under contract and selling the contract. So in a way, you know, wholesaling is really a lead, is a customer acquisition company for a real estate investor, but you're getting paid fat commissions on the leads. So that's kind of how it works. General store and allow 2-week shipping time due to high demand on all my products, or only one winning product. If I have a general store, please, and I put, yeah, I mean, Brian, at least if you're saying that, I know a lot of people don't say that and then it screws them. You guys ever plan on a meetup in Europe? Hey, we just might. If we can get enough people that can commit to coming to a meetup, we might just come out there. Or maybe we'll have an event out there, because you know, that is quite a ways. We'll do like some sort of event out there, like big event, not just like a little meetup. That way, you know, cover costs, things like that. Where do you find your winning products? If you have capital, would you recommend jumping straight to private label or your own product? I mean, I would, because here's the thing. If you have the funds, you can start building a brand. I mean, what I mean by that is, all right, if you sell on Amazon, I have a friend that does this. She sells a ton of products. Her name's Melissa. Some of you guys might know her. But anyway, if she just sold her products on Amazon under whatever name, that would be fine. But Amazon likes to change rules all the time and say you can't sell this or sell that and all this crazy stuff. So if they decide to do that, you're out of luck. Like, you can't really sell your product anymore. However, if you started building a brand, you have a name, your packaging looks good, and people start to connect with your brand, they're going to start to Google search and they're going to look, you know, for information about your product. And now there's a potential they come across your website, your website for your business, and you start capturing some of that information, because Amazon keeps their email. They keep everything about them. So you can't really retarget and remarket to Amazon customers. So that's why I recommend like building a brand if you have the funds to do it. Why doesn't Amazon like people to drop ship off there? I don't know. I'm not Jeff Bezos. I'm not on their executive team. I just know that they're not a big fan of it. Yeah, I mean, Money Cash, don't worry about it. We're going to have more events. There'll be more time, you know, all that stuff. Start e-com business. What's the first step? The first step would be you need to decide which platform you're going to use. If you're going to use eBay, if you're going to use Amazon, or you're going to use Shopify, or you're going to build your own, like, you know, WordPress website with WooCommerce, whatever. But you need to pick one. And then once you pick one, then you need to set up the merchant processor that goes with that. And then also, guys, I just got a huge call with my accountant and everything, and I'm really bad at this. I know I sometimes say what you're supposed to do, but this is one where I didn't do what I was supposed to do. So I generally, on like a credit card, if I'm out and about and I'm busy, you know, whatever, I just use my personal card for business expenses a lot on it, you know, just because I don't think about it. Well, that's really bad for multiple reasons. So make sure, if you guys are starting a brand new business, get a separate bank account, and we'll get that, you can get that fixed. That way everything's separated, right? Because you don't want them to be the same. Because it's just bad for tax time. It's bad from all sorts of different angles. So I'm just gonna update this for some of you guys that are just tuning in. Okay. All right. Just use Amazon. I never use Facebook ads for anything but Shopify. You have an idea when a guy for Facebook ads will come in? Yeah, we'll bring in somebody for Facebook ads. Generally, like when we talk about Shopify, any person that's really good at Shopify, that's like a crossover there. Victor, are you wanting to know more on Facebook ads for Shopify specifically, or for like different type of business model? Yeah, when you're drop shipping on Amazon or eBay, you never use AliExpress. Drop shipping on Amazon and eBay is domestic suppliers. Tommy Rodriguez, he couldn't get on the call for whatever reason. They can't. I think Jeff or who somebody lost the key. They can't get into the room where all of our camera equipment is. So we can't get Tommy on the live right now. So that's the problem, guys. So we will either record a training from him and just upload it for you guys, or we will reschedule the live. But because I know some of you got up, I'm willing to stay on here for a little bit, answer all your guys' questions and whatnot. All right, if you have about 100K in a bank account and currently starting out with Shopify, 5 figures a month, how would you proceed? Victor, if what you're saying is actually true, shoot me a DM on Telegram. We can have a talk. How do you find domestic suppliers? Walmart, Overstock, Wayfair. There's tons of them. Do you have an ad agency you would recommend? Elizabeth, what's your budget? Because the ad agency I would recommend, most of the bigger ones are around $10,000 a month plus 10% of your ad spend. So it's $10,000 a month no matter what, and then let's say you spend 100 grand on ads, it's another 10,000, so it's about $20,000 a month. That's how much the good ones cost. Correct, Brian. That's what drop shipping is. It's finding a product on one supplier's website, finding out that you can sell it for more on another, and you make the spread. So if you buy it for 20 and you sell it for 30, you make 10 bucks minus a couple fees. All right, so like I said, guys, I hopped on here real quick. One, just to let you guys know that the call is going to have to be rescheduled because they're not able to get into our set right now for this. But if you guys have any questions, happy to answer them right now about business. So if you guys have questions about credit, loans, starting your business, whatever, drop them real quick. I'll give it another minute, and then I'm going to hop off and go enjoy my Sunday. Most people don't have the money for Amazon dropshipping. There's hold times, there's issues, there's things called ungating. You can't just sell anything you want. There's a process to it. So it's easier once you get going, not easy just to get started. Plus, like I said, it's kind of a gray area with Amazon. So if Amazon, finds out that your account is drop shipping, then, they could shut it down. So, they could just stop your store anytime. So I don't depend on that income at all. That is fun money income only. For choosing a trendy product for Shopify, I would use like Google Trends. Look at Google Trends, see what's popular, see what's happening there. That's always a good one to check. You can see what's the latest thing people are talking about on like trending YouTube videos, that sort of thing. Anything about Forex? Yeah, I used to trade Forex. I've realized that I have a little bit too much of a greedy or gambling mentality for Forex. So I understand it. I've learned a bunch about it, but I know myself enough, and I played with it enough to know that I am not ready to just go trade Forex as like a regular thing. You have to know yourself, guys. You have to know your strengths. You have to know your weaknesses, and pick the right thing for you guys. When you start earning a lot of money, how are taxes? Taxes are a bitch. But what you need to do when you start earning money is really, really find a CPA that's one good, one smart, one that is not scared to push the boundaries, not push it over where you're doing something illegal, but push it to the point. Some tax advisors, they're scared, they don't want to risk the audits and stuff. They have old school mentality. Like, perfect example is like the home office. Like, example, my home office is right here. They got this huge desk, all these monitors and stuff, and that's a tax deduction. I can write off my home office. Well, like 5-10 years ago, people didn't have home offices like they do today. So it was considered like, if you put that you had a home office, it was kind of like a higher risk thing, potentially getting an audit from the IRS. But nowadays, tons of people work at home. Freelancing's a thing. Being mobile is a thing. So the IRS actually made it really easy to deduct the home office. They even made it a standard deduction. So if you don't want to do all the measurements and the calculations, you can literally just take a standard home office deduction. So the biggest thing with the taxes, though, is finding someone for tax strategies, because your accountant can make you look broke on paper, which means you don't pay a ton in taxes. But then next year, if you're going to go try to buy a house or a new car, you're going to have on paper showing that you make little to no money on your tax returns, and you're not going to get approved for the loans. So that's part of the planning strategy too. It's not just to like save money. It's also for what your plans are for the future. How much working capital do you need for the following year? There's huge things that go into that. So I also have there's a video I did with a CPA over on YouTube. If you guys don't know my YouTube, I'll drop my link in here real quick, because like the merchant processor thing, and then the I don't think I can switch that right now. Anyway, I'll just Google my name, Nick Fitzgerald Ecom, on YouTube. All right. What kind of trading style did you use? It's irrelevant. Just looking for more passive. I mean, you don't have to have a ton of money, but you have to have some money. Are you filed as a single member LLC or an S corp? Speak with your accountant. There's reasons to do one over the other. You guys have to remember, entities cost money. So they cost money to set up, and they cost money to maintain. So if you're not making enough money to do certain tax strategies or certain entity strategies that you've been told about, it's not worth doing it. So you don't just jump in and get an entity just cause. Also, when you pay for personal expenses over in business expenses together, and you mix them all up, then that limited liability part of the company is almost non-existent until you get that fixed. So there's a lot of stuff. So you have to plan it. People just like go, hey, people are, oh, I'm just going to open an entity. Just like I say in the video that's in your guys' training portal. Like, oh, so-and-so said I should open this entity. Well, maybe that's not the right one. Depending on your business, and then depending on your state, and depending on your goals, they're all different. And then how much money you make from other stuff. Some of you might be making a ton of money in your job. You have a really good job, but you want to go and be an entrepreneur. You want to go build a business. So If you make a lot of money from your business and you report it, you're going to go into a higher tax bracket and you could end up making less money even though you made more. So let's say you make $65,000 a year, and then your side hustle goes and makes $35,000 a year, and now you're at $100,000 a year, and you're in another tax bracket, and now you're paying more and more money. So that's what we don't want. So you gotta talk with your CPA. Your CPA will most likely be able to advise you on the best entity for your particular business, because they're gonna know the tax benefits of those. And that's I mean, unless you have a big liability like a particular company that like you're chopping down trees, you know, has something to do with machinery, you know, things that or even you know, real estate, like, you know, you could have a tenant that hurts themselves, whatever, that sort of thing. It all comes down to that. What's some money to start Amazon drop shipping? Just estimate. I would say like at least like a credit card with a few $1,000 on it. Savage, I would test them. Like, if you're just doing the one video right now, make one of all of them, test them, and then whichever ones. So when you guys are running ads, this is probably the biggest thing that people don't do. You should always be running A and B testing. So what I mean by that is, if you have one ad, if when you start, you put 2 ads up, right? You have 2 ads up, and one of them starts to do better than the other, and a significant difference, get rid of the one, but put another one in its place with a different variable. You should be constantly having A and B testing going on. Too many people put up 2 ads, one starts to do better than the other, they cut the one, and they just leave this one. You should constantly be. You're always learning. You're always gathering new data. If you just put 2 up and when one's not doing that great, then you cut it. That's not what you should do. I like the automation of Amazon, and then Shopify, just you have to create the traffic. Those are the differences. Can't get LLCs that are based from other states they don't live in. I mean, you can, but you have to know why. And then depending on what your type of business is, if you make money, if you're actually making the income in another state, then you still have to like file in your state, even though you made the company outside of it. So you want to talk to your CPA about that one for sure. All right. Anybody else have any questions? Been on here for almost about 40 minutes. I'm gonna hop off, go hit the gym, go get some breakfast. Any other questions before I go? I hope those of you that are on here, this helped you out. We will get that Amazon drop shipping information out to you guys soon. How to get started on Amazon drop shipping. We're gonna record a training for you, Chase, and we'll get that uploaded. All right, guys, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy it. You know, either go have some fun or go learn something new. All right? You don't always have to work. Don't forget that. And those of you that were asking about tax stuff and about merchant processors, just go to YouTube, type Nick Fitzgerald Ecom, and it'll pop up. All right, everybody, have a good day.